Hello everyone and welcome back to the Crafty Yellow Camper, and as I promised, I'm back again today with another version of a mail card that could be used for Father's Day or for a birthday, using the suit and tie dies to make sure that doesn't run into one another, otherwise you'll be thinking that it's going to be a tie-dyed card. As I said before on my previous video, there is a stamp set called Handsomely Suited that goes with the dies. I don't actually have the stamp set yet. But I did buy the dies because I thought that they would be very useful for lots of different things. So again, today we're making a man's card, something that a lot of us struggle with. And I've started with a Pacific Point base. And it's a standard English C6 size. So if you're watching in America, it's half of whatever your cardstock is. Widthways, cut widthways, and then scored in half. So a standard C6 in the UK is 14.8 that way by 21 that way, scored at 10.5, scored and folded. Okay, so we're going to be using some of the papers that go with the Handsomely Suited suite, and this is another one. If I bring back the card that we made last time, this was one of the papers, and then on the back, I think I've still got a scrap, there was this sort of grey pinstripe, and this one has this sort of natty navy blue with little diamonds. Actually, I'm sure my husband's got a polo shirt in that pattern, and it's got a grey paisley on the back, and that is the one that we're going to be using today. So we are going to start off by adding some adhesive to the back of the paper. I seem to have loads of glue bottles on my desk. I've got a little tiny bit of glue left in. Okay. I shouldn't need too much glue because we're sticking this straight onto a flat card. Okay, that should do it, hopefully. Pop that upside down so it everything runs to the tip. Now, I always find when I'm sticking a whole sheet of card or paper onto the front of a card, it's easier to have it open. It doesn't bounce around as much. And this paper is cut at the same size of the front of the card, which is 10.5 by 14.8. And I'm just going to line up, much as we did in the other YouTube video using the same dies, but that one had a V cut in and we added lapels. So on this one, we're going to make this into a little polo shirt. So I've adhered the paper to the front of the card, and then I'm going to bring in some extra bits. So we're using the collar, which we've used before, and we're using the pocket top. No, we're not actually. We're not using the pocket top. Sorry. We're using the pocket that we've not used. We used the pocket top in the last video. Okay, so the collar is going to be stuck onto the card like that. And although these are called suit and tie dies, I think you could make a lady's dress with some floral paper and just use this as the collar and maybe add a little bit of lace or something to it. So let me just grab my glue, and we're going to add a little bit of adhesive to the back. Again, you can use whichever is your adhesive of choice. I'll add a little bit to the back here. Okay, got a really sticky bit on my finger from the end of that glue now. There we go. Okay, and that is going to be placed on the top of our card in the middle, like so. And then we are going to take our pocket, and we're going to add that. That's sort of a breast pocket, if you like. And I've just remembered why I die cut that other piece. So that's our little patch pocket, little breast pocket on there. Try and make sure that's level. And I've just remembered we are going to be using this pocket top, but we're going to use it as a placket instead. Are you impressed with my sewing terminology? That's what happens when you watch the Great British Sewing Bee a lot. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make this into the button placket. So whereas on the previous card we used it here as a pocket top, this time we're going to use it there for buttons. Okay. I probably should tuck it under a little bit if I can push it up a little bit more. Yep. Let's just lift that side up and tuck it under there. And again, this is why I like the Tombow multi-purpose glue, because it does give you a little bit of time. Okay, so then to finish that off, we've got some buttons. And I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of glue. So we would have one button at the bottom, one in the middle, and one there. And I don't think we need to strangle our person. So I'm going to bring in my Take Your Pick tool, and this is really handy for little fiddly bits because it has putty on one end, which is sticky. So I'm just going to bring in my buttons. There they are. Just going to make sure they're the right way up, because there is a right and a wrong side. And then I'm going to use my putty to pick it up and pop it on. Now you could do your buttons a different colour to your placket, but I wanted mine to be the same colour. There you go. And we need one more, just trying to get one that's the right way up. Yep. Okay, there we are. So we've got our 3 buttons. There is a little tiny bit of glue that's squished through the stitching, but again, I'll take that off when we're done with that. And then I thought we would have one button in the middle of the pocket. So I'm just going to put a tiny little dot of glue there. Just a little tip for you, if you store your Tombow so it is facing down the end that you use the most. I'm just going to show you, my Tombow's disgusting because it's really gluey, but these little jam jars, this is a little jam jar that I got when I stayed in a hotel. They're perfect for standing your glue up in. And we're just going to pop that little button in the middle of the pocket. Okay, because sometimes polo shirts do have a little button. Well, it's not very in the middle, is it? But okay, there we go, that's better. Right, okay, so how quick was that? So one polo shirt, perfect for a man's birthday or Father's Day, or as I said, if you were to do it in a more feminine paper, you could make a nice little white collar or a pretty colour to match the papers, and turn it into a lady's dress with a little bit of lace trim or something like that. So that's our very quick card for today. And again, if you would like to order any of the products that you've seen me use today, please drop me a line and let me know. And if not, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.